Nami from OP11 sounds really good on paper, but is there a definitive way to build the deck? Well, let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mabi here, and today I'm going to be giving you my personal deck profile for this blue and yellow Nami leader that came out in OP11. However, it's for OP12 and below. Alright, so the game plan here is to use the best of this leader's colors, the blue and yellow. You have a lot of staples, annoying removal, a lot of really bad choices for your opponent on whether or not to attack your characters or not. Otherwise, you're going to heal or not because your leader ability gets you that much more benefits. Now, as usual, this is going to be a full video breakdown. If you just want the deck profile, the video, head on over to my website, Mabi TCG.com. There you can get it for my, anything that I uploaded for OP11 and below deck profiles, as well as the images for text and image. Now, as always, this is just my personal take. It's okay if you disagree. Let us know what you would add or what you would remove down below. But this is just what I've been cooking and having fun using. So let's start with the leader, Nami from OP11, 5,000 power special, 4 life, blue and yellow straw hat crew. During your turn, once per turn, when a life leaves any life pile, you may activate this effect. You get to draw 1 card if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand. So remember, this is only during your turn. This is when you attack the opponent, when you force the opponent to use an ability to trash a card, or even when you use any of your abilities to remove anything from your life. If you have 7 or less, you get to draw a card. So this leader kind of wants to go the distance and just be a little bit ahead of your opponent in terms of resources towards the late game. Now, the second ability here is with 1 Dawn attached. When your opponent attacks once per turn, you may trash 1 card. This leader gains 2,000 power for this turn. This is a really strong ability. You're usually only going to be using this towards the late game. With 1 Dawn attached, you can go ahead, when your opponent has multiple attacks, you trash that first card with 1 Dawn attached, of course, which is, the hard part to do here. But yeah, you trash 1 card and it's 2,000 for the turn. So you will be 7,000 for that attack and any other incoming attack. So you're going to be using the first effect throughout the whole game, really nice. Then the second effect towards the late game, maybe using it towards like the last 2 turns that your opponent might attack into you. Okay, so as I said, it's going to be stable blue and yellow. There is no clear archetype here. I guess the strategy, like I said, is a lot of life manipulation. Okay, so the first card is, well, first of all, like and subscribe if you are liking the video so far. I'm uploading every single deck profile for every leader that comes out and more, you guys. Thank you so much. All right, so you're the one who should disappear. This deck it doesn't have that many bricks, like character bricks. However, this is a really good yellow card that every yellow deck might want to use 100%, especially if you're looking for great triggers. You're the one who should disappear from OP06. Cost 0, counter, trash a card from your hand. Up to one of your leaders or characters gains 3,000 power. Really great, really nice, helps you get rid of crappy cards they just don't need anymore, that doesn't fit the curve. And of course, the trigger here is if you have 0 life when this triggers, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life, then you trash 1 card from your hand. If you're able to get this as your last life, it's going to really mess up your opponent's plan, and it lets you live a little bit longer in order to set up even more combos and really stupid, annoying things. So we're running 4 of these. Next off, we are running 4 of these Vistas. Now, this is just a 1-cost blocker. You guys can probably fit in anything else you want here, but decided to put this in here because there is a 6-drop Jozu in here that bounces back a smaller card. So I thought, why not just throw out a little small blocker here? So this is Vista from ST22. This is Whitebeard Pirates 110. It just has an 8 blocker, which is actually not too bad at all. Anything that's just a blocker, especially when it's small, is pretty sick. All right, next is Nojiko. So this card is making a revival thanks to this Nami leader, some OP03 201 on play. For leader is Nami, which at the start of this video, the recording, there's only 2 Namis, the mono blue, which doesn't really run this a little bit, but then this one, which has a very, very good use. If your leader is Nami, bounce back a 5 or less character that your opponent has back to their hand. It's really good. It's only 2 costs. It's a counter. It can be bounced back again with, just like Vista can be used with Jozu to bounce it back after to be a 1k back in your hand again. There's a lot of really annoying cards that are 5 or less, blockers, Jesus Burgess, Kikunojo, bounce it right back to their hand, really messes up their tempo play. This is a strong card. So we're running 3 of these. Next off, of the first of our 2Ks here, we have Kozuki Hiyori from OP06. So I'm running a couple of different arts here. This is pretty nice. 202. On play, put the top or bottom of your life cards into your hand. Put one from your hand to the top of your life pile. So yes, this is a really strong 2K, one of the best yellows out there. You can play for 2. You can grab the top or bottom of your life. In this particular deck, you don't know what's on the top or bottom, but one of the best case scenarios to use it is when you have 1 life left. Then you can grab the card and then make sure that you can put this on top from your hand in order to get that trigger off. So that's what you usually want to do with this. Otherwise, it's just a 2K. Another really good card to use is going to be this Capone Gang Beige as well, which we'll talk about in a bit. But next card we have is Zeus here. We're running 2 of these from OP11. 222 on play. Add 1 card for the top of the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand to KO a 5-drop on the board. So just like this Nojiko, this one bounces it back for free. Pretty much you just Nami for free. However, this one, you get to KO that card, they can't play it again, and you add 1 card from your life cards, which at the moment that you activate this, if you have 7 or less fewer cards, you can go ahead and draw this. So when you use this, you got to make sure that you don't have 7 already, because if you use this, you add that card to your hand, you're going to have 8s, and then you won't be able to use this. If you really need to KO something, by all means do it, but keep that in mind. Try to keep your hand 7 or lower in order to use stuff like this to get more cards in the abilities, right? So I'm running 2 of these. Now we have Capone Gang Beige, another just really amazing 3. So this is a OP04332. Trigger up to 1 of your opponent's leaders or characters cannot attack during this turn. Usually towards the late game, it's going to get really close. Your opponent's calculating everything, and they have 1, 2, 3 swings ready to go. Boom. This is the last trigger. It really messes up their game plan. It's usually, the game usually ends up being 1 turn before somebody wins. So this will really help out in a pinch. Also, this yellow is super annoying to deal with, and this is just one of those cards that will help you win. All right, so running 4 of these. Next off, we have Kikunojo from OP06 460 on KO. If your opponent has 3 or less live cards, you heal 1 from the top of your deck. Really amazing card. The trigger here is if your opponent has 3 or less life cards, you play this as well. So if you attack your opponent at least once or twice, usually they're going to go down to 3. Then if this triggers, amazing, but usually you're just going to be throwing it out. We're running 4 of these, and because they are bricks in your hand, you don't really want to play this later after the 4-drop curve. There's a lot of ways to get rid of it. For example, the one you're the one who should disappear is a really good candidate for this to be knocking out. There's also a 6-cost Bartholomew Kuma in here, which is a great card to trash as well for this. So this is super annoying. It's if you get it on the field, usually your opponent's going to be like, I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to bottom deck it if possible, or just ignore it, and then you get free bodies, free attacks. All right, time for Charlotte Puddings from OP06 441. On play, your opponent returns all cards in their hand to their deck and then grab 5. Best case scenario, your opponent has 6+ cards in their hand in order to use this. Now, one of my favorite things to do as this leader is on your turn, if you go seconds, usually you're going to be attacking their leader, and because it's early game, they're going to want to take a lot of cards into their hand, in order to do as much as they can. They feel safe. They want to take a hit, 5,000, 5,000. You play this when they have 7+, boom, you destroy it, you're messing with their hand, and they basically just redraw. I love this card so much in this deck that I'm running 4. They're really powerful, and it is another character that you can bounce back with Jozu. However, it's just 1 more Dawn commitment to attack for 5,000, so a little versatility there. Next off, we have this Nami card from OP11 561. Blocker on play. If your leader is multicolored, which it is here, you're going to be drawing 3 and then placing 2 at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So this card's really nice because you get a card, it's a blocker, it's a 1K, and you get to choose the cards that you did grab in general to put back on top or bottom if you really don't want to see them anymore. So it's a great card. We are running 3 of these. Now, it's a new card from OP12. And remember, if you want to see my OP11 list, my website has the whole list that you can grab it there. But this one is really good and strong. This is like, it's a big staple in a lot of yellow decks in OP12 from here on out. The Bartholomew Kuma, 7 Warlords Revolutionary Army OP12 671. On play, trash 1 card from your hand. Add the top card of your deck to your life, which means you heal on the top. Then this character gains 2 until the end of your turn, until the end of your opponent's next turn. Basically makes it an 8 cost, not relevant in this deck, only good for defensive purposes. Then on your opponent's turn, if this is KO'd, you get to heal again. Just like Kikunojo, this is another card where the opponent's like, I don't want to deal with this. What do I do? I don't have a way to get away with it. Do I just ignore it, etc.? So this is nice because you heal when it gets KO'd. This is nice because you heal ASAP. This is also a counter. So wow, this is amazing. So running 4 of these is just super annoying, dude. Okay, Jozu. So this is from OP08. 6, 7, 1. On play, you can bounce back a character that you have, and then you bounce back a 6 cost that they have. Once again, the best cards to bounce back is at the pudding if you really need to. If you somehow played this one might be played, so you'll be bouncing that back. This one's really good to bounce back because you're going to be setting up your life. And then Kikunojo, Nojiko bounces something back. Later on, they play, you could bounce it back again, be super freaking annoying. And then you have these visas, which helps you block. But then if you have them on the board because you don't want to bounce anything back, it's another really good contender to bounce back because it's only 1 Don to play again. So running 3 of these. Okay, so time for the staple removals of the deck. This is Gum, Red Rock, OP04, cost 6. You just basically bottom deck any character on the board unless they have ways to remove it. The trigger here is bottom deck a 4 or less. Really strong, really powerful. This is a 6 cost. Really good. It's running 2 of these. Next off, we have Charlotte Lin here. So this is from freaking Stardeck 07700. On play, your opponent chooses one of these. They trash one from their life or they let you heal one. If they end up trashing one from their hand, make sure once again you have 7 or less because you can go ahead and heal one right away. And if they make you heal, you have a ton of good triggers. A lot of good triggers. So it's a tough choice for your opponent for sure. This one we are running 4 because the ability is just so powerful. And by the time that you play this, you know, you have a lot of cards. You're gonna mostly feel pretty safe no matter what choice they're gonna be making. All right, time for the other really heavy removal of the deck. Gravity Blade Raging Tiger from OP06. This costs 7. Main, place 2 characters 6 or less to the bottom of the owner's deck. So good, it gets around a lot of KO abilities, of course. The trigger here is a 5 or less. It gets bottom deck instead of the red rock. So you have the red rocks for single target, really high target, and Gravity Blade if they start to rush you down. 6 costs, removing 2 6 costs is just really freaking good. All right, time for the final card of the deck. This is going to be Eustace Kid from OP10. It's cost 8. Has 9. It's a brick. On play, you can rest this character, trash up to one of your opponent's life cards. Now, you got to remember, you can rest this ASAP as soon as you throw it on the board. You rest it, you trash it, and you get to hopefully draw a card with your leader, which is really good. Then at the end of your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, you get to draw one and trash one, making it so if you have too many of these, you can sift it out, etc. Maybe your opponent's not running anything low anymore, you sift out, etc. So that's it for the deck. We're not running anything 9 or 10 in this deck because your leader's ability, and I want to kind of keep it that way, where you need 1 Don attached towards the late game in order to use this. There's just it just doesn't really feel like I need it. But if you want to run 9 drops, you can run Yamato. But this character's ability is all about removing stuff, so yeah, you can use that. You could also, if you want, use the 10 drop aces, the one that rushes, but once again, you don't get a Don on here, so that's why I'm not particularly running it. I've done some testing, and I feel like just having this late game and this late game is good enough because your opponent's going to be removed a lot. So yeah, it's just, you know, mess around with it and see what you want to add. But I found that this particular deck doesn't really care about having an archetype, you know, like, oh, Straw Hats or anything like that. I tried running a semi-Whitebeard and that was kind of fun. Because you have a lot of searching cards, but I found out that this one, just a lot of staple blues, a lot of staple yellows, and especially with the new 6-drop Kuma, it really makes your leader a lot more tanky, so you can get this leader ability off quite a lot. But anyways, that is it. Make sure to go to the website and subscribe for more stuff. Let us know what you would run in this deck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.